Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. It is Friday night. This is Valley Beth Shalom live and online. It is my privilege to welcome you to Kabbalat Shabbat after a very difficult and strange week. I think we all need a big deep breath and a big, very big dose of Shabbos. So welcome to Cantor Barron. Welcome to members of our community who've joined us here on Zoom and joined us on Facebook and on YouTube. We're so glad you're here. Take a very big deep breath. We're going to be davening tonight. We'll use the page numbers from the Sim Shalom prayer book, but whatever prayer book you're in, find Kabbalat Shabbat and join us in prayer this evening. Join us in refocusing on all the things that really matter in life. Shabbat Shalom. Cantor.
Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day, day. Hey, day, da, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day, day. Hey, day, da, da, day, 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 day. Day, da, day, day, day. Da, day, 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 day. Day, da, day, day, day. Da, day, 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 day. Ay, da, day, 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 da, day, day. Day, 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 day. Da, day, 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 da, day, 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 day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day, day. Yay, day, da, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day, day. Yay, day, da, da, day, 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 day. Day, da, day, day, day. Da, day, 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 day. Day, da, day, day, day. Da, day, 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 day. Day, da, day, day, day. Da, day, 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 day. Day, da, day, day, day. Da, day, 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 day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day. Yay, day, da, day, day, day. Yay, day, da, da, day, day. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
This weekend, Cantor Barron is welcoming a very special guest, the great teacher Norman Fisher. Mr. Fisher is was for many years the leader of the San Francisco Zen Center, and now runs a center called Everyday Zen, a tremendous Buddhist teacher, and raised Jewish and still very much practices Judaism. And in one of his interviews, they asked him the question, well, how do you do both? And he says he finds no contradiction, because he says, look, what is the ultimate message here? The ultimate message here is that there is an infinity beyond us outside and an infinity within us deep down. And the purpose of faith, whether it's Jewish or Buddhist, is to reach beyond the boundaries of self, to try to touch that infinity, try to live in the presence of that infinity. And so he says, it's the great task of meditation in the Buddhist tradition and prayer in the Jewish tradition to push us beyond self, to be part of something much, much bigger than ourselves. Kabbalat Shabbat, the psalms and hymns that we use to welcome Shabbat, do exactly that. They push us past the worries, and difficulties, and struggles, and desires and impulses of selfhood in order to reach something much, much bigger outside, and even more importantly, much bigger inside. There's a bigger self within, and we can find it. So we begin now, page 15 in the prayer book, the beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, Lechu neranan al Adonai. Let's begin by going toward that place of infinity, of infinite love, of infinite compassion, of infinite depth, of infinite hope, of infinite faith. Lechu neranana.
Lechu neranana l'Adonai, Naria letzor yisheino, Nikadma fanav betoda, Bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana l'Adonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana l'Adonai. Naria letzur yisheinu, nikadma fanav betoda. Naria letzor yisheinu, Bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana l'Adonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana l'Adonai. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana l'Adonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana l'Adonai. 40 shana kut bedor, va'omaram to'ele bavhem, v'hem lo yadu derachai, asher nishbati be'api, im yemon el menuchati.
The universe is sprinkled with divine light, and it is our task as people of faith to find it, to uncover it, to bring it to the surface so that all of us might enjoy its energy and its power. The psalmist wrote, Or zarua latzadik. Light is sown in the world, planted for those who are righteous enough to find it, u'lishrei lev simcha, and for those of good heart, there is joy. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kadsho. There is joy there, if only you knew how to find it. Page 17, the last two lines.
Or zarua latzadik, or zarua latzadik, or zarua latzadik, or zarua latzadik. Hay day 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 hay day 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 Simchun Sadikim B'Adonai, Behodu lezecher kodsho. Simchut tzadikim b'Adonai, Behodu lezecher kodsho. Hay day day hay day 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 hay day 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 hay day 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 hay day Tzadik Or Zaruah Tzadik.
This remarkable idea that we are not the center of the universe, but there is something much bigger going on all about us. That's the fundamental observation of faith. And it's a hard thing because so many of us like walk the world as if we were the center of the universe. So one of the purposes of prayer is to displace the self from the center and put something else and put something else. In a certain way, that's what all of adulthood is, right? That's why we get married, to place someone else at the center. We raise children, we put them at the center. We engage in causes that mean something to us. We put those things at the center. And what's amazing is that as hard as that is, that each one of those things brings us the certain very special quality of joy. For a religious person to see that there is a power in the world that brings creativity, that brings light, that brings possibility, and to attach ourselves to that and to see that as the center, that's the great joy. Look on page 18, the last 4 lines of the Psalm, the only sailor song in all of Jewish life. Imagine the sea whipping up late in the afternoon and the sailors singing a song to the God of all creation, Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o, that all that is, that the sea and the land, the mountains and the sky, let it all praise the power of the Creator. The Creator is the power that animates us all.
Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o, Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o, Tevil ve'yoshmeya, Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o, Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o, Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o, Tevil ve'yoshmeya, Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o. Neharonim ha'ofchak le 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 Yachanarim Yiraneinu Neharonim ha'ofchak le 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 Yachanarim Yiraneinu Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o Tevil ve'yoshmeya Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o Neharonim ha'ochaf le 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 Yacharanim Yiraneinu Neharonim ha'ochaf le 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 Yacharanim Yiraneinu Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o Tevil ve'yoshmeya Yiram Hayam U'Milo'o.
Now we rise up. You see this wonderful insight that there is an infinity within, which means there are no limits. The only limits are the ones that we impose. We can rise up. We can be better people. We're filled with possibilities. Tomorrow morning, we're going to read the Torah. And in Torah, we're going to read the first chapters of the book of Exodus. And it's a remarkable story. Moses is going to stand in front of a burning bush, and he's going to say to God, "Who are you? What's your name?" And God is going to give the most evasive answer in all of Torah. God's going to say, "Ehiyeh asher ehiyeh." I am, or I will be what I will be. Which is such a strange puzzle, a code of some sort. Except if you imagine a very simple idea, we're not defined. None of us are fully defined. None of us are bounded. None of us are limited. I will be what I will be means I am always engaging in the possibility of development, of growth and possibility, and the possibilities that are mine. A God of infinite possibilities. And so we pray on the next page, on page 19, Ramimu, which means rise up. Rise up. You can be better today. You can be more sensitive today. You can be more compassionate today. You can be happier today. Rise up.
Romemo, Romemo, Romemo Adonai Eloheinu V'hishtachavu L'Adam Raglav Kadoshu Romemo Adonai Eloheinu V'hishtachavu L'Adam Raglav Kadoshu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemo Adonai Eloheinu V'hishtachavu L'Adam Raglav Kadoshu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemo Adonai Eloheinu V'hishtachavu L'Adam Raglav Kadoshu Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Havu l'Adonai B'nei Eli Havu l'Adonai Kavod v'olai lai lai Havu l'Adonai Kevod Shemo Hishtachavu l'Adonai V'hadrat Kodesh Kol Adonai Al ha'amayim El hakavod hirim Adonai Al mayim rabim Kol Adonai Bako Adonai Behadar Kol Adonai Shomer Arazim Vayishaver Adonai Et Arzei Halbanon Vayarkinim Kemo Egel Levanon De Sirion Kemo Ben Reimim Lai Kol Adonai Otsev Lamotesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yecholel Hayalot Vayechesov Ovehechalo Kolomer Kavod Lai Adonai Lama Mul Yashava Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitein Adonai Yevarech Et Amo Shalom Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai Lai Lai
Right at the middle of Kabbalat Shabbat is a beautiful hymn. It is a picture of the world as it might be, the world as it ought to be. It's a Shabbos hymn because it is such a utopian, beautiful, blissful picture of a world where love is married to power, where compassion rules, where things are put right where they're supposed to be, where tragedies are erased and everything destroyed is resurrected and rebuilt better than before. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Let Shabbos be that vision of a world as it ought to be. The great 16th century hymn, you'll find it on page 21 in the prayer book.
Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha, ishmi'anu El hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem ultiferet v'litila Echad dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Echad dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor ha'beracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh v'machshava Tehila Echad dodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Echad dodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabela Boi v'shalom Ateret bala Gam v'simcha Umtzola Toch emunei Am segula Boi chala Boi chala Echad dodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Echad dodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabela Echad dodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Echad dodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbos. Let's sing together a song of Shabbat. Tov l'hodot l'Adonai l'zamer l'shimcha l'yon, to sing a song of the goodness of life and all of its possibilities. Lagid baboker chazdecha be'emunatcha ba'lilot, to recite God's graces in the morning and God's faithfulness at night. Alei asur v'alei navel alei higiyom b'chinor, with all of the instruments and all of the powers of human expression. Kisimachtani Adonai b'vo alecha b'masei adecha aranein. Because we look into the world tonight, as Shabbos is coming and there's a little bit of peace outside, and say, it gives me joy to be alive. There are those who just don't understand. That moments of frustration, that uprisings of evil will occur in our lives. That's part of the building of the world, of the construction of the world, but those are temporary. The world still contains the seeds of righteousness and the possibilities of redemption. And someday, in some way, humanity will recognize what we owe each other, and the compassion that will rule the world will be something we all will praise. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizkeh. The tzaddik is one who is rooted in that which is eternal, in faith, in hope, in the possibilities of the world. And because of that, the tzaddik is always fruitful, always contributing something remarkable. Shtulim beveit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenu v'seva deshenin v'raninin yiyu lagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avla tabo. Tzaddik who recognizes that at the heart of reality is endless possibilities, will never grow old, will never be dried up and finished. And when the day comes that that person must leave the world, they leave with a smile and say to all of us who remain, it is good. Tov lehodot ladonai. We take a moment now and we ask those who recite the Kaddish in memory of loved ones, observance of Yartzeit. We welcome you to this service. We offer you our prayers. Hamakom yenachem etchem b'toch sha'ar ve'elei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. I know the Bloom families here and others who have lost loved ones. We've had, unfortunately, many losses this last week, both we in our own community, our own congregation, and the city at large and the country at large. So if you're here tonight mourning the loss of a loved one, rise now and join with me in words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach leolam al me'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekusha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata Damiron be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace in the world bless you this Shabbos with peace as you remember your loved ones and as you look forward to a tomorrow that I promise you will yet come. We all rise now. Page 28. We begin the prayers of the Mariv. Baruch Hu et Adonai.
Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai. Yada dai dai dai, yada dai dai dai. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam vaed. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo. El Chai Mikayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Haramim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shovenu u'bekomeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu Ve'orech yameinu, Ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem nege yomam v'layla. Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, uvechol nafshecha, uvechol meodecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'aderech, uvshochbecha uvekumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Please continue silently or join me on the top of the next page. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem, ve'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei bigdehem ledorotam, ve'natenu al tzitzit hakanav, betil techelet, ve'haya lachem letzitzit, Oritem oto, uschartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, va'asitem otam, velo tatoro, acharei levavchem, v'acharei nechem, asher atem zonim achareihem, leman tizkeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihot lachem le'elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, emet. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei vele, sing with me. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei vele. Malchutcha, ra'u banecha, bokayam lifnei Moshe. Malchutcha, ra'u banecha, bokayam lifnei Moshe. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, osei vele. Ze Eli, anu me'amru, Adonai himlo, le'olam va'ed, mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, osei vele. ונאמר כי פנה אדוני את יעקב, וגילו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
Tonight we pray only for one thing. We pray for peace. We pray for a night of rest, a night of quiet, a night of peace for us, for our community, for our country, for the world. And we pray that tomorrow morning we rise again to all the possibilities of life. Page 33. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Let us lie down tonight in peace. V'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim, and raise us up in the morning to life. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Spread above us a shelter of peace. V'tachnenu b'etzat tova milfanecha, v'hoshienu leman shemecha, v'yagen be'adenu, v'yaser mi'aleinu, oyev, dever, v'cherev, v'ra, v'yagon. Remove all that frightens us and disturbs our rest in the night. V'hasar satan milfanenu me'acharenu, k'v'yetzel kanafecha tastirenu, ki'el shomrenu matzilenu ata, ki'el melachanu v'rachum ata. U'shmor tzeitzenu v'leinu l'chaim l'shalom. Guard our going out and our coming home in peace and in life. Me'ata v'ad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, baruch ata Adonai, aporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Rise now again, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael, the biblical commandment to make this day holy and special and bring us closer together on this Shabbat.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי לקודשא בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו Amen.
Few moments of quiet and personal prayer. The Amidah begins on page 35. A few quiet moments to meditate and pray for the week we've just finished and for the Shabbos that is yet to come. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha v'al kol yoshvei tevel tasim leolam. Ki ata umelech Adon lekol hashalom v'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Baruch ata Adonai hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Praised are you, God, who blesses your people Israel with the blessings of peace.
Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. V'tov einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael v'chol eit u'v'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Yitkadal mikanasha me rabba mehalma divrach yirute v'yamlik malchute b'chayechon u'vyamechon u'cherchol beit Yisrael bagalav v'zman kariv v'himro yehesh me rabba mevorach le'olam ulal mehalmaya Yitbarach mishtabach mitpar vitrumam v'naseh v'hadar v'taleh v'talal shemei dekudesho B'richu leila min kol v'rada v'shirata tushprada v'nechemata damiram b'yama v'himro tikabal tzolot honu v'adachon t'chol Yisrael kodam v'nimishmai v'himro Yehesh lama rabba mitshemai v'chayim aleinu v'elkon Yisrael v'himro Ose shalom imromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'himro. Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסר הארץ ומשם שמיים ושכנו זו היי נור על כן קבל חנניה ככתוב בתורתך ארוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה ארוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה ארוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Once again, we'll ask those who recite the Kaddish in memory of a loved one, observance of Yartzeit, to stand and join with us in the holy words of Kaddish. Gather in the memories of those you love and hold them very close and share these words with us. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayed dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Omeil Maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha Brichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. You're welcome to be seated for just another moment. And once again, we thank everyone for joining us this evening for Kabbalat Shabbat. Thank you, Cantor Phil, for your wonderful davening this evening, and wish everybody a very, very peaceful Shabbos. Boy, God, do we need it this week. Tomorrow morning, Torah study at 9 o'clock in the morning with Rabbi Gelman and Rabbi Hirsch and me. We'll be davening at 10 o'clock in the morning. Shacharit, we Mevarchim Chodesh tomorrow. We welcome the new month of Shvat this next week. And then in the afternoon, Rabbi Yossi will be back, and we do have Havdalah at 6 o'clock. This coming week, we're back on our regular schedule again. So Minyan Sunday at 8:30 in the morning, during the week at 7:30 in the morning, and every evening at 5 o'clock in the evening. Lunch and Learn meets on Wednesday at 12:30. We're studying the book of Proverbs now and the writings of the Holy Bible, the Ketuvim section. And then in the evening, a wonderful interview with a scholar of Jewish mysticism, Melila Hellner from Israel. That's on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock on our series on Facebook or on YouTube. So please join us this coming week for some Jewish learning, some davening, and let's take good care of each other today. If you have to go outside, then be sure to wear a mask and stay distant. It's really dangerous outside now with the virus. And if we can only hold on for a little longer, we'll all get vaccinated soon, and then we'll be back together. And I don't know, Cantor, what it's going to be like to be back together, because I've gotten so used to davening online. So it's a very lovely experience to be in a room with 20 other people.
That would be wonderful. And with other musicians would be such a pleasure. I got to play a little with Asher yesterday. He's going to join me tomorrow morning with Norman Fisher. And because the harmonium is forgiving in terms of being a little bit out of sync, we were able to use it. And so we practiced a little yesterday, and it was such a joy. Such a joy.
So before I forget, so tell us what's happening tomorrow. So give us.
Yeah. So from 10 to 10:30, we'll do a meditative service. And then at 10:30, Norman will take us through some special meditations until about 11:15, at which point Rabbi Feinstein will be joining us for some discussion about Norman's work. He's a wonderful poet, and he's written a translation of the Psalms. He's very engaged in Jewish life, as the rabbi was saying earlier, and yet he's the former abbot of the Zen Center in San Francisco. So very fascinating man. If you're interested, by the way, you have to have a special link to get a reservation. So you'll have to go on our website, unfortunately, to make that reservation if you haven't yet, but you'll still be able to do it.
Well, thank you so very much, and we look forward to learning with you and with Norman tomorrow. Let's finish our service with candles and with challah and with wine, and welcome the Shabbos together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat konsho v'ahavahu v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Amen. Shabbat shalom to everyone. Enjoy the Shabbos of peace.
ואחרי ככלות הכל, good wine, לבדו ימלוק נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה, אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל סיר נברא וית נשא חפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, וידו אבקיר רוחי והייתי שם ויאירו, ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירו, אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל סיר נברא וית נשא חפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל סיר נברא וית נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.